Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're joining us today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Jennifer Bagley with CI Web Group, and today you are attending the 12-step roadmap session. From a dating standpoint, we are just wrapping up 2014, moving into 2015. So I'm probably very similar to you and do a lot of strategic planning and evaluation and realignment of different investments and resources and time and energy and so forth. And so today, that's what we are going to really focus on. And my goal is definitely to help give you some things to consider as you're going through the evaluation period or the planning and preparation period for next year. So let's go ahead and get started with that. You guys, most of you have been attending sessions now for a year, and there's been a lot of information. I love the fact when I get notes and I get emails and I get messages talking about people's stories, what they've implemented, what's worked, how they're still struggling, but they won't quit, and that they keep trying to do more of and less of what's necessary. So at least there's some clarity there. Everything starts with thinking. Instead of doing so much, do what matters. The only way to get there is to think more than others do, or more than most do. I spend a lot of time studying and planning and thinking and really giving things thought. For example, I get calls on a regular basis. Jen, I want to partner with you on this project. Hey, Jen, I want to go into business with you on this project. Hey, Jen, I can make us a lot of money on doing blank, blank, and blank. Or can Jen come speak at such and such event and so forth? And I really think I have to have complete clarity and understand. I have to think about what are the highest leverage activities I can do in my own business. Another example of thinking. I have obviously a social media team. An SEO team that is dedicated to my web properties. However, I have to think about what matters most. Even with a full-time resource dedicated to my own personal web properties, is that enough time? And for me, it's not. So I know that SEO and content creation, quality content creation, is a high leverage activity, period. I have bouts of outsourcing, meaning having my team take care of certain things for me. However, I will never fully remove myself from the process because it's a high leverage activity. So it's a very careful balance. The bottom line is how you think controls your results. However you currently think today got you where you are today. If I'll give you, actually, you know what? I'm going to stay on the slide. I have another example. I recently met a woman who, in the same breath, she came up, she said, I'm trainable, I'm coachable, I can do this. And then she immediately went into but, and had a laundry list of negative statements or negative thought patterns that are not getting her anywhere. So that's something, that we talked about last week a little bit, is making sure that your thought patterns always stay positive. Always stay positive. It's critical. Play a game with yourself, play a game with people in your office, play a game with your spouse, your children. What's the positive spin? What's the positive spin? If you hear somebody say something negative, it doesn't matter if it's about the economy, if it's about the government, it's about business, if it's about your colleagues, if it's about your staff, your team, and so forth. Find a positive angle. Find a positive spin. Write this down. What you focus on, you will get more of. Good, bad, and indifferent. What you focus on, you will get more of. Good, bad, and indifferent. All right, let's go ahead and keep on. MOLO, more of, less of. Do you take time, at least annually, so now's the time, to evaluate the things you need to do more of and the things you need to do less of, and then faithfully incorporate the changes that you've identified? And I do this on a constant basis. I'm constantly evaluating. The things that might go on this list are tasks, emails, speaking events, associates, people, friendships, family. Where do I need to spend more time? Where do I need to spend less time? And making sure that that's completely in line with your ultimate goals. I had a conversation with our 16-year-old recently. We were talking about college, and saying, okay, well, what do you want your life to ultimately look like? What do you want your life to ultimately look like? In the end, what does that paint me a picture of what you want your life when you actually have a brain and you have maybe a family, maybe not a family, maybe you're a bum, maybe you're surfing in Hawaii. I don't know what the situation is. Paint me that picture and let's work backwards, and I will tell you what you need to do more of and what you need to do less of. And actually, I won't tell him. I will require him to have a conversation with me and tell me, what do you think you need to do more of, or what do you think you need to do less of out of all of the distractions and life events that come your way in order to be able to get to that end point? And can you see it? Can you see that end point? All right, next. Take time to reward yourself strategically so you'll continue to be inspired and motivated. I constantly keep rewards in front of me to continually motivate me and inspire me personally to reach my goals. My family also rewards ourselves strategically for hitting certain goals. It's incredible, whether that's a trip. One of the things that we said is we're going to Hawaii next year. We said we were going to Cabo last year. It turned into a cruise because Cabo got hit by a hurricane. But, we handpick things. Our reward to ourselves is travel. For those of you that follow me on my social sites, you probably know I've been to quite a few countries this year, and my family has gotten to enjoy travel while we take care of business, and that is a strategic reward. So whatever it is that you like, it doesn't have to be the same thing, but set goals as a family, set goals as a company, set goals as a team, set goals as an individual, and put a strategic reward out there to help inspire you and keep you motivated. All right, be real. This is important. A lot of times I do consultations, strive to be real in 2015. Are you transparent with your family members and others around you, even to the point of admitting when you make a mistake and apologizing when necessary? A lot of times ego gets in the way. I do a lot of strategic calls and consultations, and I would say that a very high percentage, in upwards of 80 to 90% of those, ego runs those calls, and it's more important to boast about what you already know or what your experience is or what you already believe than it is to ask great questions and be humbled. When I sit in, I have a coach, Tony Jerry. I have strategic coaches. Tammy Kling is one of them. Eve Mayer is one of them. I have a coaching program that's not cheap, but that I participate in. Actually, it's a 10-week program, and I start in a few weeks, and it's every week. And if you don't show up for one of those coaching programs or coaching sessions, you pay $500 for missing. If you are 10 minutes late, you pay $100 per minute for being late. So I participate in these. When I am in the presence of someone who knows more, has been further, and done more than I have seen, it's important to be humble. When I'm sitting in that room, it's not about everything I already know, because I don't know what I don't know. So the goal is to be real. And the realer I am in saying, I don't, tell me what questions I'm missing. Tell me what am I not assessing? Tell me where a blind spot is. Tell me what I'm not seeing. Tell me where I have a broken belief system. And the more real you are, and that's personally and professionally. So in the business environment, being real, down to earth, and seeking people to point out blind spots is critical, but also in a personal, on the personal side as well, in your relationship. What am I not giving that you want more of? What can I do better? What flaws do you see in me that I can improve upon, I can get better at? And then focusing and committing yourself to make those things happen. All right. Of course, it's the holidays. I have to throw in a slide. Provide joy and entertainment. Do I continually look for ways to bring joy and entertainment to other people? You guys, it's not all business. I will tell, I talk about Blake Crenshaw with We Scan Files a lot on these calls because he is so fun to be around. When he calls our customer service line, our team is laughing. When he sends in a support ticket, our team is laughing. When he is sending a message in Basecamp to fix something wrong on a website, our team is laughing. He brings joy and entertainment, and we work our butts off for him. And that is how it works in life. Think about the people that you're around. Think about who you like to be around. Do you bring joy and entertainment to other people's lives? And I promise you, if you integrate that in there, and that's why, when I'm speaking, I'm talking about a boring topic. Who wants to know about SEO or social media or web and search and sales and business development and so forth? Who cares, actually? So that's why, I have a shot at tequila. No, I'm totally joking. But I try and build in joy and entertainment into those presentations. People say they listen to recordings of them and they laugh. And that's why. All right, next. One of the things you should possibly consider for your 2015 goals, if you help encourage other people to get what they want, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And I'm going to give a special shout out here to Ann Powers with Air Care Systems, Inc. You guys go check out our website. She's got the most powerhouse HVAC website on the planet. Ann Powers, I will say, she immediately identified who an important introduction was to us. She immediately identified. Now, on one hand, she's a client. On the other hand, one of the kindest, most sincere, and I can tell it's strategic, and I'm okay with that. She knew exactly who the best introduction would be for our company, and she was in the process of getting her website built and going through the process. This woman, with a handful, one very powerful introduction, basically wrote herself a blank check when it came to her website. As far as our team is considered, anything she needed on that site, she may have, I think her original site was supposed to be like 30 or 50 pages maybe. And it's hundreds of pages, hundreds of custom graphics work, custom functionality. And basically, if she could think it, we were going to try and build it, try and design it, try and create it, and give her anything that she needs. But she did that consciously or unconsciously through this slide, which is helping other people get what they want, and you'll get what you want. I'm constantly on the outlook for people around me who I can help. I do often sincerely ask the question, how can I help you? And then I follow through the best of my ability. Now, I will tell you, this can be a weakness or a strength. Anne was genius in the fact that she had a huge possibility of winning additional work and service and friendship and camaraderie and promotion and everything else from our team as an organization, because she was in the process with this. So she strategically identified the right candidate who can come to the table with more than an appetite. You guys, I'm sure you've heard me say both people have to come to the table with more than an appetite in a partnership or a strategic alliance. But damn, that woman could ask for anything, and I would make sure it got done. So check out aircaresystems.inc.com. Major powerhouse. It was a big project and a fun project, but I'll tell you, the introduction that she gave us, she knew exactly. She took time to understand us, who our best introduction was, and she made it happen. And not once, but a few times. So I couldn't repair enough. So I'm going to leave that at that. I specifically hunt down those relationships, specific people who I can help them grow. I can help them get what they want. And they are equal in I don't want to say equal in trade. I want to say you want to put thought behind it. The last thing you want to do is help everyone on the planet with everything on the planet, and there's no strategic thought or thinking or so I don't want to say there's a benefit to it. I handpick specific people with no intention of getting anything in return, but knowing that it's a smart investment no matter what, even if the only thing that I get is a positive endorsement. For example, I have this consulting group that I go to. It's a 10-week coaching program. There are people in there. I would do just about anything for anybody in that room. They are power players, highly connected, extremely successful businesses. They're all multimillionaires, and they've done it from scratch. They were all, none of them were hand-me-down businesses. All of them did it on their own, and I would do just about anything for them as well. But you have to figure out what's most important on this slide is what they want. You have to help enough people get what they want, which means it's not always, you've got to ask. You've got to ask, how can I help you? How can I really make a connection? It might be an introduction. It might be a connection, something. But spend time doing that instead of just thinking about your own business. All right, I'm out. Be a connector to help people win faster. So think about it. In 2015, do I look for ways to help create a triple win by connecting people with others who have knowledge and expertise to get them the results they want? We are major connectors, and we're looking for big deal connectors. For example, we speak in the marina and ports. If you're familiar with marina and ports are air, land, and sea, and we do a lot of business in that environment, but we also do a lot of business in the HVAC industry. So a major connection to boats and houseboats and lakefront vessels and businesses that are lakefront need air conditioning and heating units, absolutely. How can we marry these two organizations? We just made an introduction yesterday and connected two extremely large companies, and they're now working out a deal to be able to do business together. And the great part is they're putting us right smack dab in the middle and having us coordinate and organize and paying for that consultation. So the initial thing was just simply to be a connector. Obviously, I have a mission here. People really like to win. Do I look for ways to help people win? And do I let people be right, even if their ideas differ from mine? And this is important. This happens a lot with your teams, I'm sure, but let people win. Allow them to have successes. Congratulate them on those successes. Appreciate more of what you want and spend time on that. So recognize wins and appreciate what you want more of. Whatever you focus, again, your attention and energy on, you are going to get more of it, good, bad, and indifferent. So watch your thoughts. Be careful of how you think. If your thinking tends to stray negative, most likely you're going to see more negativity around your life. Even if you make an excuse of why, and you have to watch yourself and check yourself. If you have an excuse and you come to the table and say, I do have negative thoughts, but this is why, then you're reasoning, you're creating rationale. So instead of trying to rationalize the reason for the negative thoughts, instead play that game with yourself and say, all right, what's the positive spin? And force yourself to find something positive in everything. All right, next, clarity. You guys have heard me talk constantly. This is what I'm trying to do with our 16-year-old. My fiance and I sit down with him, and we are trying to get him to have clarity in life, and that's hard for a 16-year-old. So imagine, for a business owner, you've got to know what you want and why you want it. Not just what you want to have, but also what do you want to experience? What do you want to share? What do you want to give? And of course, who do you want to become? And then gain that pulling power of clarity to attract it. For a teenagers, these guys are in all of these college courses and they're trained. Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be an attorney? And so forth. However, what's not being discussed is, what does that life look like? What does that life look like? Even for a small business person or an entrepreneur. You may be in corporate and say, I don't want to work for the man. I want freedom. I want time with my family. I want time with my children, and so forth. However, I go and I launch this company, and next thing you know, I'm working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm working evenings and weekends and everything else. We have to have complete clarity. As long as It is absolutely necessary for an entrepreneur to put that kind of time in. However, if you have no clarity, you will always put that time in. If you have clarity and things that are important to you. So again, what do you want to experience, share, give, and of course become? Not just what do you want to have. So it can't just be focused on money. It has to be focused on a lifestyle. And what does that lifestyle look like? As long as you understand what that lifestyle looks like and you have complete clarity on who you want to become, the experiences, what do you want to be able to share, what do you want to be able to give, who do you want to be able to contribute to, and so forth, you're going to make better decisions. You're going to make decisions that are going to help you accomplish those goals and get closer to what you want in life, not just financially. And then you've got to reach down deep and get the pulling power. And this requires a lot. There's so many, this line right here, just pulling power. How do you get that? And how do you keep it? Everything from staying motivated to who you're surrounded by, to what kind of self-talk you have, to what kind of, what are you feeding your brain? What are you putting into your brain, whether it's television or news or media or crap or, education. I mean, you're on this call right now, right? That's a step. And most of you have been here, like I said, every week for an entire year. You're feeding your mind with new information. That's going to help with pulling power. But there's a lot of things to that, so we'll have to focus on that later. Speaking of focus, once you have complete clarity, it will allow you to completely focus. What you're going to have to do is constantly eliminate distractions. Constantly eliminate distractions, which is the power to say no, the power to evaluate quality relationships, the power to evaluate what your high leverage activities are, and so forth. Do those things that lead to what you want. That's what matters most. Do those things that lead to what matters most. Document and review your high leverage activities consistently. Now your more of, less of, or MOLO is going to fall into HLAs, or your high leverage activities. Getting to the point where you are constantly evaluating, I have days, I love it. Yesterday I posted on Facebook, totally focused on HLAs, which you know what that meant? I only got on Facebook after, I want to say it was 9 p.m., 9 or 10 p.m. Any other stuff you saw on Facebook came from my team doing things or auto posts or whatever that is. However, I mean, when I say it was a high leverage activity day, the only things I focused on and that I spent time doing were things that are in my HLA bucket. All right, execution. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without focus, you cannot execute. If you don't execute, you are SOL, if you know what that acronym is. All right, you have to take action. Don't procrastinate. Incorporate this model into your business. Production before perfection. Production before perfection. Get it done, then improvement. Get it out there, then improve it. Start now. Put your best foot forward, put your right foot forward, and get busy. And don't expect everyone around you to do it for you. There's no way to outsource a business entirely and make it work. So you've got to jump in. I've had people in the SEO environment that are like, I don't know how to SEO. Well, you're on our entry-level SEO plan. You're investing, $100 or $200 a month. That's only 2 hours a month of work time with 2 people. That's not enough to get you where you want to be. So if your investment is small, then you're going to have to step up and put the time in. And if you want more leads and opportunities, if you want more freedom in your business, if you don't want to have to go out to networking events and bustle around with people, having lunch and listening to 30-second presentations for the rest of your life, then you're going to put the systems in place that are going to allow you to leverage technology to convert time to cash. And that means you're going to jump in and get it done. You're going to subsidize the 2 hours. There are things we can do that only we can do, and you're going to subsidize that with additional energy or time. So I'm saying, if you know where you want to be and you know what you want to do, get rid of those things that are preventing you from get there and execute consistently. Yesterday I had a gentleman call and he was like, Jen, tell me about, it was one of our clients. He said, Jen, I know you've said it 100 times. I've been listening to you for an entire year. I know your thoughts on pay-per-click, and My first answer was, so are you saying that if you ask me the same question a few more times, I'm going to change my answer? And he was like, I could hear the name he was calling me at that point. And he was like, okay, I'm just stubborn and I keep hearing these people saying that it's working for them. And I was like, you're more than welcome to try it. Haven't you tried it in the past? Yeah, for a year. How much business did it get you? None. It's like, so do you think if you're going to try it again and keep trying it again, you're going to get a different result? The great part about this planet is the law of freaking gravity. If you have seen that a specific thing does not work, stop putting your energy and time into it. If you have seen progress in an area, if you have seen something that has shown you a pattern of progression and it's working, take away from things that are not working and invest more energy and time into executing on that particular thing. And that becomes a high leverage activity. All right, curiosity. Let me actually check on time here. Okay, good. All right, curiosity. Be learning every day, all the time, everywhere, as often as possible. You got to be curious. You have to be curious all the time. I am constantly curious about things. If you have the attitude of, I don't want to know that, I don't need to know that, if I have to know that, and trust me, I was a corporate, I'm not even sure what to say about that. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I absolutely had a mentality, and this is a decade ago, that if I have to learn what you do, no. You've got to know enough. You have to know enough. You have to be curious about blind spots. You have to be curious if there's a better way. You've got to be curious if there's the potential of doing something different or changing something, or that what you're doing right now. Remember this, when you go into 2015, what you already know have got you where you already are. Period. Hands down, that's it, no matter what. What you already know has gotten you where you already are. If you want to go somewhere else, you're going to have to change what you know. All right, so be curious. Please, please. Huge wins come from insatiable curiosity. All right, let's move through. Plan. Become a master of the planning process. Filter. Know the what and the why. Align. Ensure things fit together smartly before you say yes, before you commission others, and before you do anything yourself. So really make sure, this is, I just plugged my phone in. This is very, very important, you guys, and I'm not going to take your full hour today because I think that we've covered enough information that this is hopefully going to change some of the ways that you think about your 2015 planning, your future strategic planning, and so forth. So I want to leave you with this, and this is what we're going to focus on next week. We're going to focus on systems. Automate everything you can. Strive for maintenance-free in everything. Freedom comes from aligned systems that work. With more freedom also comes more choices. People ask me on a constant basis, why do I do what I do? And it is simply for one thing, and that's the freedom to choose, because I have no idea what we want to do when we grow up. But bottom line is, you guys, this week was totally focused on thinking. Change your thinking, change your results. And that is it's harder than you think. We are pre-programmed and wired to do the majority of our thoughts and actions based on our subconscious programs, wiring. And until you really start analyzing, why did you have that reaction? Why do you think that way? Why is that your initial response? Why do you have those feelings? And so forth. Then you're just going to keep doing what you've always done. And most likely that will produce the results that it always has. So really start thinking, if two people have the exact same situation but a totally different belief system about it, that means you can think any way you want to. You don't have to think how you always have. So start there and start analyzing. Maybe there are things that you don't know and you're curious about what they are. You're not sure what they are, but you're curious about what they are. And if there's if someone has a different way of thinking and executing, and they get results that you like, it means it's possible. It's possible for you. It's possible for anybody. So, change your thinking, change your results. Next week, let's come back and let's talk about systems, and let's look for maintenance free in 2015 and lots of freedom that comes with that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for attending 12-Step Roadmap. And I appreciate your time. I know this is a busy time in everybody's schedules, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend it on yourself and here with me today. If you guys are looking for last week's session, if you missed it, it is available or will be available by close of business today on 12-Step Roadmap, and it'll be under the strategy sections on webinars. If you've not registered for future webinars, you can do that just by going to 12steproadmap.com and click on sign up. We'll go from there. If you need help and you want to have a one-on-one consultation, feel free to let us know, and we'd be happy to set up some time to assist you with that as well. You guys, thanks so much, and have a great and very, very productive planning week. Thanks again.